Good morning and welcome to the program Guest of the Week. We'd like to announce that our guest is already seated, but this program was scheduled to have started at 10 o'clock. We apologize for starting a little late, but again, like the English people say, better late than never. We're here getting ready for the program Guest of the Week. And our guest this morning, as announced and has been promoted during the week, is Dr. Abubakar Mahmud Gumi. Now, he creates a lot of listeners would want to know. Some have said that it's an enigma. Some have said that controversial. Some have said that he has sympathy and he is legitimizing banditry, as some would say. But here is a scholar that one would want to know about. Now, our guest is a medical doctor. He is also a retired military officer. He is a doctor of Islamic jurisprudence from university in Mecca. So, he carries on with what we know as a man that can put his thoughts on the issues of Nigeria. And we'll be talking more on that this morning. Doctor, good morning and glad to have you in our studios.
Good morning, it's a pleasure to be
Thank you
with
very much. Like I said, it's a no holds barred interview that we're having with you today. And getting your permission that we could take on any subject and, of course, developing stories of Nigeria. Doctor, Nigerians are wondering, because again, we are at a time where insecurity is the main issue of Nigeria, one of the biggest issues of Nigeria today. And it is the responsibility of government to protect lives and property. Now, on the other side, you are saying that we should go into dialogue with people that kill Nigerians, collect ransom money, and burn and loot. And you want Nigerians to see that as an angle that you want to pursue. Now, how do we join? How do we understand where you're coming from on this?
First of all, I'm very glad to be with the FM Vinca. It's a pleasure to be here with you and to have this opportunity to discuss issues that bedevil Nigeria. Actually, there's no inconsistency between what is actually on the ground and what I've been advocating for. First of all, if insecurity can be crushed, and I as a former military officer too, I will participate in crushing it. But if it cannot be crushed, instead of prolonging the conflict that will engulf so many people, in fact, it will affect every single individual in the sense that anything that will disturb agriculture, anything that will disturb livestock farming will affect every single Nigerian. So somebody should not feel because he's somewhere safe that it doesn't affect me, it will affect everybody, especially the victims. So instead of prolonging suffering, I could see there's a shortcut, and this shortcut is not something which is one strange to even Nigeria itself. It's not strange to Nigeria. As I'm coming now and I'm just seeing the news that the Russian president in an assembly is proclaiming that there's a neo-Nazi terrorist attack in Russia and that they are going to investigate, killing about 6 people and another 15 people missing in Russia. He said there is no any military institution, equipment in the area. It's purely killing civilians. This happened in Russia and he's accusing the Ukrainians. This is very frightening in the sense that a small spark like that, because the war between Russia and Ukraine is still conventional. It's still conventional. And I don't want it to tip and becomes a nuclear war. And it can. And a small thing can cause that. So if Russia is now will tell me, what do we do? They ask me. I said, please investigate, but please sit down with Ukrainians. Please sit down with Ukrainians and iron out, so that it doesn't happen again, and that even the war should stop through dialogue. But winning a war is so dangerous. So now, let's come to our country that is devastated, up, down, right and center, by insecurity. I studied the, if I would like to use the word, the Genesis, because Genesis is the first chapter of the Bible, you know, the beginning. If you study the Genesis, or if you are a medical doctor, which I am, you say the etiology. And if you are a lawyer, you say what are the motives of the crime. In criminology, you look at every crime as a motive. If there is a stealing, there is a motive. So when we want to tackle insecurity without looking at these things I've mentioned, depending on which department you are looking at, honestly, you will miss the way to the solution. So you have to go back and see why, how, and then when. So the question, the moment you ask the question why, how can a young man, now I'm approaching 66 now, I wouldn't, you'd be so surprised now to see me at this age to say that what is happening in Nigeria of insecurity, that Sheikh Gumi is behind it. How on earth, at this my age, I can be involved in such things? If you see me, I'm just trying to see how intellectually we can come to see how we can stop it. A young man from 12 years old to as low as old as maybe 30, 40 years. These are the men involved in insecurity in Nigeria. Young men. So what motivates a very young man to carry out weapons, to go not only to harm somebody, to kidnap people, to what motivates him? You have to look at the motivating factor, because not every child can do that. So when you look at all these things put together, and then if you are in a position to act, then you are going to end up having the image, some people, wrong image, they think about Dr. Gumi, because of actually what I'm trying to do. Since the point I had on a police interview with one of the first few bandits they apprehended, and he used one word, that he caught an old man, and that old man said, I don't have anything, I don't have money. So they told him, so what did you do with him? Well, he said, I let him go, but then later I said I open rapid on him, so that I'll let him rest. Open rapid. When you use the word rapid on him, you know, on rifle, there's single shot and rapid shot. Rapid that brings out a lot of. So he's using military term there. These people somebody's training them. Not for using rapid, but for using the word rapid. Somebody's training them. Secondly, they asked him, what, have you schooled? He said no. But his name is a Muslim name. Can you recite the Fatiha? He said he cannot. From there, myself mentally, I said, we have the solution to all these problems. Purely ignorant people, somebody's capitalizing on them, using them to cause havoc. Absolute idiots, absolute ignorant people. So, but it didn't stop there. I said, let's see how we can get to the root of the problem and talk to them one-on-one. And in trying to talk to them, I didn't do it myself. I tried to see we can get some Fulani leaders. They call Arpo. They say there's one outpost is particularly very important. It's in Kidandan area. I said, okay, please bring him. We spoke with the police, we spoke with the army. Look, let's send message. Let them come together and tell us what is their problem. And to my surprise, we have a very strange reaction. They said they are coming from Zurmi, that recently had a problem. They are coming from Zamfara State and Zurmi, all over, and they agreed to all gather in Kidandan. I said, beautiful. We informed the police, the IG of Inspector General of Police then, during Buhari's time. He said, okay, he is going to send a deputy IG, Lamurte. But Lamurte, unfortunately, that day, he was so busy, so he said, let the police commissioner of Kaduna State, Muri, let him deputized on behalf of the police headquarters. So we are even dealing with the headquarters of the police, not locally. So the police commissioner followed us. We spoke with the emir of Zazzau, and he sent his Hakimi. We gathered scholars, we gathered books, we gathered this Atamfa, the cloth, because we had they are speaking about grievances. And if you want to be a good guest, allow the person to understand you and know that you are coming for good, you don't want to harm him. So that was we went there, and they came. But one thing I noticed about them is their military ability. As we are coming, we saw a group of armed bandits. Some were hidden in a hill. I noticed them. As we approached there, another group somewhere. So they didn't put all their eggs on one. They have this tactical maneuver of trying to see how if something wrong goes. I don't think anybody of us is coming out of that forest. So we went there, and finally we went to the RV where we all come together and sit down. We sat down, we bring them one by one commander after the commander. They come and vomited all their. So what they have been saying is a rhetoric, and I say is the same language we hear everywhere. He said, one, we are the victims of cattle wrestling. Because we are the owner of the castles. Castles are rustled. So when we heard that the military is coming to fight rustlers, but they don't know where these rustlers come, even though they are herdsmen like them. Rustling people cutting. And they said one thing again, we don't have trailers. Because these rustle cattle, after all, they have a place where they gather them, put on trailers, and they disappear. We don't have trailers. He said even Fulani men, we don't slaughter. They don't slaughter cow. It's mahauta, usually the people dealing with cow meat. So how can we be accused of rustling cattle? So you see, when the military came in trying to fight cattle rustling, they started attacking our rugas. Men, women, children dying. Coincidentally, since 2014, during Jonathan's time, 2 soldiers came to me from Wandi. Soldiers. In fact, they're not Hausa soldiers. He told me that, look, what is happening in Bindingwari, Koyelo. I think I'll give you a clip of that, then later when you're doing your editorial things, you understand what the soldiers said. Because what they are telling me, I said, look, I have to record it because it's so dangerous. I said, okay, carry on. I said, carry on, record it. And I saw that soldiers reporting to me their seniors, and they are not afraid because they have seen so many deaths. That soldier saying he has seen more than 300 herdsmen that were massacred and killed, all in the name of fighting cattle rustling. So he is no more afraid. I said, that time I went to Abuja, met with the government, showed them, and look, then Sambo was the NSA. He came over, I gave him everything what the interview went through and what I had. Anyway, I don't want to diversify so much. So I say, this is your problem. When I came to make my own speech, the Commissioner of Police, more luckily, is a Fulani man. He spoke to them in fluent Fulani. So they all accept to put down their arms. So when it came to me, I made them to swear by God that this day, on the day of judgment, you are going to bear witness that, look, we have spoken to you to remove this. Say they have agreed. But one thing they fear is that once they put their weapons down, they will be arrested one by one and killed. And they told me a list of about 50 archers that were arbitrarily, extrajudicially killed. So until they have some kind of assurance, they are ready to put down their weapons. I said, oh, this is a very simple matter. That day I was so happy that, look, the only person that can give you that kind of assurance and amnesty, so I think they are looking for amnesty, is the President of the Republic of Nigeria, the Commander-in-Chief. And it's very simple. Buhari, I know Buhari when he was struggling to be the president and everything. This chapter of Buhari is very important too. I am a pro-Buhari until when Eradua came. When Eradua came, I said, okay, Eradua means good, because we had interview with Eradua like we had with Buhari. Eradua is made good for the country. One, nobody can accuse Eradua of stealing money. Look, Eradua was in PDP, I think, huh?
Yes.
It's PDP.
Yes.
I met an APC governor. APC governor, he told me that, look, honestly speaking, out of all the governors in the northern states, when power has to shift to the north, there's nobody who is really deserved to be the president of Nigeria except Eradua. Because the man doesn't steal. And not only that, he is so much concerned about education, building schools here, roads, doing his work. And he's not easily intimidated. Yaradua. So I said, okay, Buhari, I'm pro-Buhari, I've been with you all along your struggle, but you see, Yaradua is around now, so just give him, allow him to walk. Don't pressure him with legal cases, making him to justify his legitimacy, and he will distract him. So that's what Buhari doesn't want. If you are a Buhari, you have to Buhari till your grave. So I became. Why I say it is important, because now a Buhari that I know very well, so much, very well, more than all these people around him, more than. Suddenly, I found myself, I need this Buhari to understand the dynamics of what I call now herdsmen revolt. So that as a government, we gather all of them and give them assurance. If you put down your weapons, nobody will touch you. You will have an amnesty. Only the president can understand and do it. So I thought it's an easy walkover issue. So when I came out from the bush, I started getting contacts I know I had with Buhari. All the contacts, more than 5 of them, failed for me and Buhari to sit down over this issue.
Yes, and doctor, on that, this thing has been lingering, and some people say over 15 years, and we're still on it.
Yes.
We have gotten foreign partnership into, trying to get Nigeria secured from this terrorists, because they've been labeled terrorists from 2022, was Buhari's regime. And it had not worked. And the question some people say is that, could it be, again, that government somehow, because what they call security, votes, is, unquestionable amount that we do not know. But could it be again that people in authority are also complicit in this banditry or terrorism?
This is a very complex issue, and it has no clear answer. Definitely, in any disorder, somebody benefits from it. As they say, one man's food is another man's poison. The insecurity, no doubt, is helping the military and security apparatus, because trillions of naira is given out to them. And you know, if you give security vote funds, you don't ask them where. So many have become rich. At a point, the one governor was saying, the former minister of Abuja, he said, if you see the choicest houses and everything are owned by military generals. So, but from my own conscience, they are not involved in the dynamics of the insecurity. They don't know how to deal with it, but money is coming to them, so they are using the money. But they don't know how. And I've told you, I've gone in, I've seen this, I've parcoursed these people, I've understood them. Look, the president that needs to understand them. They just need assurance that if I put my people, my gun down, I'll be safe. And until when you understand it, up to now, we'll continue to suffer. So, but why would I was not able to meet Buhari at all until when he finished his term and go. So I said, okay, maybe the next president will listen. And definitely the next president came and he is listening, but the problem is that he has too many, as they said, too many cooks. Spoil the broth, yeah. He listens here and there, so he doesn't know where to stand. Because now, in your opening remark, you said, how could you call for a dialogue of people who have raped, who have killed, who have this? How can you come dialogue with them? So the president, even if you understand that such a dialogue will bring peace, will not be able today now because of the political situation of the country, and said, okay, look, I will do to you something like we did with the Niger Delta. He cannot, but if he does that, I'm sure that would be the straw that will break the camel's back in this insecurity, because these people are looking for a way out.
To masu sauraron mu kamar yadda kuke ji cikin harshen Turanci, muna tare da babban bako Dr. Sheikh Abubakar Mahmud Gumi, wanda ya shigo wannan gida na Invicta domin tattauna batutuwa a cikin shirin bakonmu na mako, wanda muka fara gabatarwa tare da shugaban wannan kafa, wato TOYIN ALABI. To muna maka maraba cikin harshen Hausa, kuma kamar yadda kuka ta magana cikin harshen Turanci, mutane da dama na kallon ka a matsayin wanda wani sa'in kamar yana goyon bayan 'yan bindiga ko 'yan ta'adda. Duk lokacin da za ka yi magana sai su ga kamar kana kare su ne. Wannan ya sa mutane ke zargi shin ko malam na da hannu ne a cikin wannan abubuwa da suke faruwa. Kuma wasu na ganin cewa to ya za a yi mutane da suke kashe mutane, su sace mutane, su masu mata fyaɗe, sannan su karɓi kuɗaɗe, kuma malam ya ce a yi sulhu da su. Sai mutane na maka wani kallo. To tun daga shi ka shigo cikin wannan shirin, za mu so a takaice dai yake ba lokaci, a takaice a yi muna mutane bayani shin menene ma malayin hango ya sa kanshi cikin wannan magana ta rashin tsaro da kuma yadda za a magance ta.
To bismillahir rahmanir rahim, na farin ciki kwarai da gaske zuwa wannan Invicta FM na tattauna kan matsaloli hadin shafi Najeriya. To gaskiya dai yanzu ne kusan shekara ta 66. A irin wannan shekaru ya kamata in mutum na kula da abubuwa ya kula da su ta hanyar basira da ilimi, ba kawai atifa son zuciya ba. Abin da ke shaɗa damun mu, kamar da na bayani a Turanci, wato ban tsaya an dirasa shi ba, an fahimce shi, to yana da wuya mutum ya iya fitowa da irin abubuwan da nake faɗa. Abin da ke faruwa shine wannan rashin kwanciyar hankali a Najeriya za a iya cewa tun 2009 da aka kashe shugaban 'yan Boko Haram a Maiduguri, wato tun lokacin ne Najeriya ba ta samu zaman lafiya ba har yau da nake magana kusan shekara 17. To sai ana cewa can ne yake gabas ne, sai ga shi a billo yamma. Yamman nan da ya billo sai muka ga kuma irin salon mutanen Boko Haram shine wayannan makiyaya su ma suka dauka. Sai muka ce to bari mu kutsa mu ga me yake damun su. Muka kutsa na sai da muka nemi wakilci na shugaban 'yan sandan Najeriya wanda yake aka turo mana, aka ce police commissioner ya bi mu. Muka shiga daji, muka same suka ce su a shirye suke, sun yadda za su ajiye makamansu gaba daya, amma abu ɗaya suke so, su ba sa son in sun ajiye makamai kuma a zo ana bin su ɗaya da ɗaya ana kamawa ana kashe su. Sai muka ce wannan abu ne mai sauki, inda shi ne kai ya rage. To alhamdulillah muka ce to ai lokacin ba shagarin Imam Buhari ke mulki, bari mun zo mu nemi gwamna president ya fahimci haka. Suna son a musu irin mutanen Niger Delta da aka ce kowa an yafe mishi, kowa aji makami. Domin suka ce in mun aji makamin nan an gwada an yi sulhu da, sai kuma a biyo daga baya yana kama mana kashe mu. Domin ko gwamna ne ko dan siyasa ne zai dan sulhu da su, amma su sojoji suna nan da damarar su na yakin su. To shikenan muka ce bari a haɗu da gwamnatin Buhari ne sai ta zama da wahalan zama da shi a fahimtar da shi. Muka ce to har wannan gwamnati ta zo, to ita kuma wannan gwamnati ta zo tana fahimta, shugaban kasa ya fahimta 100%, amma kuma yanayin siyasa ya zo bai yiwa ya ce ya zo ya musu irin abin da aka yi na Delta, domin na ɗaya ma yanzu kasashen waje sun shigo cikin abu. Sannan kuma wallahi kaji na rantsai da Allah, in an duba a hankali akwai hannun kasashen waje a cikin wannan lamarin.
To mala takaice bisa ganin ba lokaci sosai, menene ka fahimta makasudin su wa'annan mutane su ɗauki bindiga suna yaki?
To farko dai ana sace musu shanu, saboda haka in baka da bindiga a cikin daji to yanzu na za a zo satin shanu. Sun ɗaukan bindiga don kare kansu daga shanu. To su kuma jami'an tsaronmu da suka shiga daji, maimakon su ware masu sata da mara sata, sai suka bi gaba ɗaya suka musu kuɗin goro, kowa ana kashewa. Suka ce yan sojojin ma ke gaya mun an yi kisa yan Fulani. To shine suka haɗa kan suka ce to bari su riƙe makami, kowa ma da wa zai yaƙe su yaƙe su. Kaga yan sa kai suna yaƙin suna yaƙin soja, suna yaƙin mutanen gari sun yi cinne, an kira su an kashe su. Shikenan suka ɗauki makamai. To shine da muka ce to ku aji makaman nan, suka ce to muna tsoron mun aje za mu a kama mu fita da kulli. To wannan din ne ke bukatar gwamnati da siyasa ta yadda cewa mutane na a zauna da su a yi sulhu. In yi sulhu insha Allah wannan abu zai kawo karshe.
Mr. Toyin, back to you.
Yes, Doctor, another thing is about this block, the entity, the North,
yes,
as it is.
Yes.
The North is said to be, as some people say, the North has been described as a parasite, region,
yes,
of the country. It has over 15 million out-of-school going children. Insecurity is also part of it that, we see in the North. And then the leadership of this country has been said that over 60% of it has come from the North, military and civilian. And yet, the North finds itself in this situation that we are in. And of course, we do know about, what comes from the Federation account, to the governors of the North and to all of that. So the position of the North, are you worried? Again, I'll take you back to the time of Goodluck Jonathan. That we saw that he was worried about, out-of-school going children. And so, he made this move that schools should be built to keep those children there, to have Islamic and English studies. All was going on. But that did not work. It did not work, and some people say, again, it was from the North here that, the Northerners did not make it work, and the Northerners will be the core North as it is. The position of the North, and as things are going, what are your thoughts, and what can bring the North out of this quagmire that she is in now?
It's a conscientious, good leadership. And unfortunately, whenever the North has such a leader, he ends up badly. Look at the Sardauna of Sokoto, who built all the institutions. Even this Modibele Stadium, any leader that is concerned about the sports, then the other things must have been even in his priority. He is killed. Murtala came as a very national leader. He doesn't tolerate nonsense. He's trying to develop Nigeria as a whole. He is gone. So we never had a very conscientious, strong leader in the North. unlike Awolowo in the south, who helped the southwest financially when he was the commissioner of finance, or we have Zik, who was the president general of Nigeria in the east. He died naturally on bed. So we are like the north was like orphans in the fields of politics. So all you see, whenever a leader comes out, he doesn't end well. Even Yaradua, you see, I spoke with Yaradua. Let me tell you, Yaradua, most likely Yaradua was poisoned. Most likely Yaradua was poisoned because when he went, I met him. He said one time he went to Saudi Arabia and he was sick. They brought him back. I went to see what's wrong with him. He said they've checked all his parameters, blood, everything is normal, but yet he gets syncope. Syncope means he gets unconsciousness. He just fall unconscious. He doesn't know what is it. Everything is normal. He said when he went, even it's just the drip water, normal saline that he had, because there is no need to give him any raw. So later now, when Yasser Arafat was taken to France and one Russian spy in UK, he was poisoned by a metal which is not detectable at all, and it causes the same symptoms. Died, and Yasser Arafat died. Then we understand that probably Yaradua too died from such platinum death. Any northern leader that is ready to walk will end up in the grave.
From where would that come? I mean,
so let's understand that Nigeria is earmarked for failure. It's the nation. Nigeria, nobody wants Nigeria to rise up. In fact, they say it's the giant of Africa. If it stands, like Mandela is saying, the future of Africa is in Nigeria. If Nigeria becomes strong, great, Africa will become great. And you know, Africa, nobody wants us to be great. Foreign post-colonial issues, they want still our minerals. You see, what the colonial masters did was able to redirect and change our thinking. So they think they have spread leaders that will come out and be pro-Western. But when leaders started, like what's happening in the Sahel now, from Senegal to Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, now it's a change in leadership that is pro-Africa. And this is what they hate. And because if Africa becomes great, then the world will know that, because it's the richest continent on earth, Africa. And the most stable, no even earthquakes, diamonds, name it, uranium, name it. And now the powerhouse of, it's not petrol anymore, it is lithium. Look at how lithium is working now like electricity. This is great power. We have it. So, any great leader will not do well until when we all forget our religious, ethnic, and colloquial differences. When I hear some people say, we want to succeed, I say, who are you people? Tell me one tribe that succeeded in the history of world. America is great because of foreigners, immigrants. America was able to get an atomic bomb because Albert Einstein, a Jew from Germany, was driven away by Hitler. They went there. All the good brains went. Look, in the history of Islam, the Prophet, as an inspired person, the Muslims were saved by Salman al-Farisi, the Persian convert. We have Suhaib al-Rumi, the Roman convert in the Islam, and this is how they were able to survive. Not any tribe. So when you say my tribe, who is your tribe that the world cannot move without it? We in Nigeria, we are not even, if we know what is the future, we should not be thinking about my tribe, my religion, my region. We should be thinking Pan-African. Pan-African. Let's come together. So like ECOWAS, you see, anything that would spoil ECOWAS, like Nigeria when we started fighting with this Sahel region, and they voluntarily said they are going out of ECOWAS. This is a setback for us. You need free movement of goods. You need to support each other's economy. So now you tell me somebody wants to succeed. Succeed from where? When we want to expand more, we want to somebody from Nigeria or from Morocco to South Africa, a rail road that you can travel by rail from there, from Nile, from Egypt to Lagos by road or by, so that we be connected. And somebody say no, we want to be, and all these people talking for sectional or secession, there are colonial powers behind them, because when you succeed, that is when they have bases there. But if you are all together, you don't need any basis. So the insecurity really is more than just what meets the eye, as you have said. And I think as we learn more and more, it's going to die out. It's a candle that is dying out. No matter how tall the candle is, just give it time. It's melting and it's going to die. Insecurity will be a history in Nigeria and Africa. I'm sure you that.
2027 is around the corner.
Yes.
And the politics is already heated up, as some people say. And there has been this issue of who gets the ticket. Would it be on Muslim ticket or Muslim Christian ticket? All of that have played out in politics in Nigeria. And Nigeria is said to be a secular country. And you're an Islamic cleric.
Yes.
When you see this thing about religion and one faith trying to prove that it is the best, it is the one that knows God more than the other ones, does that not call for concern? And again, I come to the Islamic clerics too. Some of the hate speeches we hear, is an understanding of that religion, Christian or Muslim. So when you hear some of our preachers, what do you make of them?
Yes,
because you, doctor, you're a medical doctor, you're an Islamic, and all of that.
Okay, you see, when you come to politics now, especially Nigerian politics, I think if religion is used, it's just used as a slogan and placard in certain areas to get votes, and another issue will be used in certain areas to get votes. It's a question of getting votes. But I don't think any Nigerian, whether the proponents of religious card or not, I believe that the nation is drifting towards any theocratic government. No, there is nothing like that. It's just playing with people's sympathy or ideology to get votes. That's not anything beyond that. It's not true. But do we need it? We don't need it in Nigeria. We don't need polarization, whether religious, sectarian, or anything. We don't need polarization of people at all, because the consequence can be great, And I think no religion in Nigeria can say I can do it alone. Even now we have the Muslim ticket, as I've said. It's just the name and the nomenclature and the circumstances. It's not the intent. The southern president is a Muslim or happens to be a Muslim, then, and a very good asset politician that knows Nigeria very well, and he wants votes from the north. So it's natural he will take, just like Abiola took Kingibe. Just like Abiola took Kingibe. It's just that, and during Gawan was the head of state, and his second deputy is a Christian too. Nobody even noticed that. So it's not designed to be like that. It just happened by. So we should not use that religious card here in this case. And I think Christians in Nigeria, like this genocide thing, they have nothing to fear in Nigeria, because the economy, who holds the economy? Who pays the piper dictates the. Christians in Nigeria have nothing to fear at all. In fact, it's just that they are using that card to get more influence, to get more position. But they know they are well grounded in Nigeria, Nigerian economy. that you cannot do without a Christian. I'm having a CBT center. I've tried my Muslim brothers trying to establish it, and at a point I have to get one Tayo network expert. I have to bring him to come and to unravel the interest crazy. So Christians are part and parcel of the matrix of Nigeria. Nobody can do anything about it. And Muslims too, like that. Nobody can do anything about it. So we just have to understand how to live together. There's nothing like divorce. It's a forced marriage. Must be till death part us about.
But as we said, the North, I still bring up the North now. The North has said that this administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not done well for the North. What are your thoughts on that line?
No, the North is complaining we have not done well for the North and the Muslims particularly too, but even positions like that. The answer would be, okay, when your Buhari was there, Buhari almost did the same thing, only that he's not an acid politician and he doesn't know how to. You see, the idea of, look, let this region have a presidency, let this region have president, even though it's not democratic. But the idea is that if it's your turn, develop your area. If it's your turn, develop your area. When it was our turn, who developed it? Why is the school? And you are talking about Jonathan building 150 schools for Almajiris. What happened to the schools now? Everybody abandoned them. 8 years, they didn't take care of them. Look at Almajiris everywhere. This Almajiri issue can be cured in one day. How can it be cured? One, build the schools and have an Almajiri patrol, anti-Almajiri patrol. Anywhere you find Almajiri, put him in the bus, take him to the school. And from the school you sort out from where you are from Katsina, take him back to Katsina, because there's another school in Katsina. Take him back to Sokoto, take him back. They will just disappear from.
But that happened some years back. That happened that the state governors.
No. You see, if you see a blind man with a stick, you don't take away this stick without giving him another stick. It didn't happen. They were just taking them in the bus and putting them on the street in that area. It's just like it's becoming sectional. Where is the school? Put them in school, I said. Put them in school. And from school you sort out there. This thing, give them uniform, give them school, this education. The one you cannot trust his parents, educate him. He's a citizen. He has a share of the cake.
I mean,
to masarar mu Dr. Ahmad Abubakar Gumi ka yi magana cikin harshen Hausa turanci, musamman ka taɓa batutuwan da suka shafi shugabanci na gari. Arewacin Najeriya ana ganin shi a matsayin ci ma zaune, yanki ne wanda wato ɗalibai yara da ba sa zuwa makaranta sun yi yawa, kuma yanki ne da aka bar shi a baya. Ana ka fahimta matsayin wanda ya shekara 66 ya ga jiya ya ga yau, kuma muna fatan ga gobe ya ka kalli wannan ci baya da yankin arewacin Najeriya kisan.
Arewa gaskiya akwai matsaloli game da ita, amma duk ya tattara ga shugabanci. Abin da ya samu arewa kamar marayu muke, kamar marayu. Tun da kashe Sardauna, kuma duk lokacin da wani shugaba na arewa ya tashi sai ya mutu, sai a kashe shi. Murtala ya taso da gyaran Najeriya an kashe shi. Wannan me yake da suna, akwai raduwan da na karshe shi ma yadda muka yi abun nan kamar dai an sa mai guba ne, domin duk dan arewa da ya taso zai aiki gadan ya taimaka in tafiya shi zaka ga an nemi yadda a halaka shi. Saboda haka mu marayu ne, ba mu samu shugaba mai kishin kasa ba wanda zai tsaya mutane aiki. Su kuma mutanen kasashen Yarabawa sun samu Awolowo da ya tabbata cewa duk hanyar samun kuɗi ya tabbata wurin su. Su kuma mutanen Ibo can, Zik wanda yake shine shugaban Najeriya na da lokacin, yana na har gadon mutuwa ya rasu, ya tsaya ya shishirya mutanen shi. To warewa mu samu shugaba, to kuma duk lokacin da mutane irin wannan masu yawa mu samu shugaba ba, to abin da ke faruwa kenan. Duk da yawan su da abun nan kuma arzikin kasa da suke shi, ba za su iya hada kansu ba su yi. su zama sun samu shugabanci.
Tunda siyasan nan ta zo an samu rabuwar kawuna tsakanin bangaren kudu da arewa, tsakanin musulmi da krista, kowa na ɗaukan nashi. To gashi zaben shekara ta 2027 yana ƙara karatowa, kana ganin wannan zai tasiri? Ya ka kalli abin yadda ake nuna bambanci, wannan su ce ai namu ne, wannan su ce nasu ne, zai kawo ci gaba ga ƙasa?
A'a, shi bai kamata ya haka ba. Irin wannan ƙasa da ya yanki a ce akwai ƙasa ce kabilu sun kai 200 da wani abu, addini daban-daban, kowane addinin ma za ka ga kuma sex daban-daban. Cikin sex din ma sai ka samu abubuwa daban-daban. To ya irin wannan dai ana so a zauna lafiya, wanda shi ne maksudin kowane addini. To a yi hankuri da juna, a bi doka yadda aka tsara ta yadda za a bi a samu. Amfani da addini ko kabilanci ko wannan cikin irin wannan yanayi ana yin shi ne domin samun ƙwarewa. Kada wani ɗan Najeriya ya tsammani in ya ji ana amfani da addini ko wani abu ana amfani da shi ne wai don shi ainihin tsintsan aƙidar wayannan mutane. Suna yin shi ne kawai don samun ƙwarewa. Amma muna son shugabannin da za su yi adalci, su yi ma kowa adalci. Me adalci shine a samu zaman lafiya, a samu abincin ci, a samu ilimi yara, a samu kiwon lafiya, a yi ma kowa abin da yake so. Ba sa ganin in abu ya yi tsamari, ya yi musulmi ma da kanshi zai tashi kai kanshi kasashen turawa inda yake ba addini, ko za ka ga su kuma sun shiga kasashen da yake na musulmi. Yanzu ka je Dubai misali, kaga turawan da ke Dubai da abubuwa, ko da sun san kasar musulmi ce, ashe mutane za su iya zama lafiya in dai akwai ci gaba. Mu abin da muke so Najeriya su samu ci gaba, zaman lafiya, ba ma son rikici irin wanda muka samu na addini wanda yake ba gado ba kai ba gado, a ita kashe juna, a ita bata wa juna arzikin kasa.
To dakta, mutane na ganin ka kama kana da ɗan tsauri akan yanayin bayananka. Yau za a iya jin ka soki wannan gwamnati, gobe za a iya jin kuma ka kare ta, wani sa'in za a ji kare kalaman suna da ɗan tsauri. Me za ka ƙara mutane su fahimce ka akan yadda kake gudanar da?
Ka gane ne, mutum an ce ɗan tara ne bai cika 10.
Na tare yake bai cika 10 ba.
Tare yake bai cika 10. Saboda haka mu aikin mu shine in mun ga kuskure mu ce wannan kuskure ne a bashi. In mun ga gaskiya kuma bakin nan da ya ce wancan kuskure ne ga gaskiya, in yana da adalci kuma sai ce an kyauta a nan.
Ko da ya shafi musulmi da krista ko bangaranci.
Abin da ya ga rashin gaskiya ya faɗi, domin abin da muke so a samu a zauna lafiya, a samu ci gaba. Amma addini fa lakum dinukum waliyadi, kowa na da addinin shi, kowa ya san da bauta. Na gaya maka ba ma wai, bari baka misali kamar mu izala da muke, mu izala ita ce alƙiblar mu ta addini. To ko cikin izalar nan mun zauna lafiya?
Akwai rigingimu.
To waye za ka ce abun nan? In ka ɗauki Catholic akwai rigima a cikin ta, in ka ɗauki Protestant nawa suke? In ka ɗauki ɗariƙun su ma nawa suke? Saboda ashe abin da ya kamata yanzu kowa ya addini shi da ya fahimci Allah, ya bauta wa Allah yadda ya fahimce shi, amma mu zauna mu haɗa kanmu mu samu zaman lafiya. Me zaman lafiya? Mu samu kwanciyar hankali, mu samu mu iya nomanmu, mu ilmantar da 'yan uwanmu. In mutum bai da lafiya ya je ya samu magani. Irin wannan zaman lafiya da ake a duk duniya mu samu a ƙasarmu mana, amma addini kowa ina shi.
One of the things again that must come to play, I tried to ask that question earlier on, and that's about Islamic clerics.
Yes.
And from the Christian side too, we have that. Hate speeches that comes from them and made public too, so that these differences, how we try to get ourselves as a people, we're not still there with that. And so some people feel that government must have control over, public speaking, so to say. For you, some of the clerics that we see come on air to just, throw out the hate speech of religions and the people, what do you make of it?
Well, see here, there has to be a delicate balance. I think government should not infringe on freedom of speech, but there are already existing law against hate speech or speech that will instill public disturbance. There's already law. What we need the government to be is proactive. If they catch any scholar or any preacher saying anything that will steer people into commotion, whether religious or ethnically, the law should apply to him.
Doctor, you have been very blunt about talking about Nigeria, and some people see that, are you like untouchable, or are you like, where are you coming from when you speak to government and you say it boldly without looking back? How has that come about you?
No, I don't think there's anything. What I know is, you see, when your intention is good, even the person you are speaking to knows you are trying to get him on the track, then I don't think you have any fear to express your view, since it's bringing into stability, it's bringing cohesion between people, and it's developmental. It's not against. Let me even add to you. Nnamdi Kanu is in prison now, convicted of what? Terrorism.
Yes.
Because he is recorded and it's worldwide. Everyone has heard it, calling them, kill them, attack them, destroy them, and attack the military. He has said that. Everybody knows that. Everybody. So on that, they have convicted him as you see, he's inciting against the state. You never hear me doing anything close to that. Rather, we are part of the state in the sense that we encourage people to join everything, even within this Islamic cycle, like banking. You can hear some scholars say, "No, banking is usury." No, we say no, it's not usury. Join the bank. How do you develop your area? How do you finance projects? If you don't have projects, you don't have an economy, and if you don't have an economy, you have what we have now. This is the widespread poverty and ignorance and out of school children, and because you cannot finance, where is the finance institution? So we say no. Join finance institutions. Join everything. So we're trying. My voice is to build, to correct anomalies in the society. It's not to destroy or to steal. But I think maybe because I have a white beard and so they hear me speaking, they say this one is a fanatic. No. There is no fanaticism in religion, and in both religion, in Christianity. In fact, there is no reason why a Muslim and a Christian should fight. Do you know in the Quran, in the verse of the Quran, when God is telling Muslims, these are their worst enemies and this is our best friend. God in the Quran is saying that you find the people who say they are Christians, they are closest to you in love. That's because they have the clergy, reverend fathers, pastors, and they have the monks who worship, and that's one word. وَذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ مِنْهُمْ قَسِّسِينَ وَرُحْمَانَ وَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ, and that they are not big-headed. And I'm sure Christians don't even see themselves as that. And if you go to the Christian side, love your enemy. So why should a Christian, when a Muslim is his neighbor, why should he hate him? Why the hate? Who told you to hate him? It's not your religion. It's something else. Maybe ethnic, because when the whites came, people were fighting each other. Even Katsina and Kano or something like that, Kano Zaria, even after the Danfodio Jihad, towns were fighting each other. I remember when I'm reading my father's history, he told us, we're actually not actually from Gumi. His grandfather was in Shagari, and he wanted to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. He went to a certain area, and then he heard that emir of one village has ransacked Shagari, so he has to come back to look for his woman. Well, we are fighting even within Muslims, even within Hausa communities, Fulani, fighting Birom and HTV. This is how when the white man came and met us, we are fighting each other in the south, in the east, and so they united into a nation so that we have principles that can promote cordial, and we should maintain it. And I think God wants it. If God doesn't want it, He will just scatter it. We should live together in peace.
What are your thoughts about the northern woman? I'm talking about the women of the north. We see their counterparts in the south getting involved in all sorts of business, education, and all of that. But the northern woman is restricted, and some people say for religious purposes and all of that. So the northern woman is not
the true northern woman. You see her in the village.
In the village.
Yes.
She should not be seen in towns.
No. If you want to know the real northern woman, when you go to the village, you see the real northern woman is involved in anything, even in agriculture. There's no any limit to her. So, women should participate in every walk of life, but the only difference is, which Islam wants, is there should be separation of the two sexes. Let a woman be a doctor, let a woman be an engineer, let a woman be police and everything, but train them differently. Don't mix them, men and women. When you mix men and women together, that's where the problem is. But there's nothing that stops a woman from doing anything if there is no this mixed of sexes. You see, even when the white came, they built King's College and Queen's College. They didn't put. We have Saint Queen Amina, Saint what do you call it here? Queen Amina,
Queen of Apostles.
Queen of Apostles, and we have. What do you call it? Which school is that? Government College Kaduna.
Yeah.
It's male. They don't mix them. Even the white people, you know, even if you look at the Victorian times, they dress decently, not in bikini. All this bikini is not Christianity that brought it, though. Don't think. Just recently, I was shown how one pastor in Russia and his wife came out. All people, 18-something, when photography came, you would think the wife is a Muslim, but she's a Christian. So let's differentiate between religion and modernity.
The minorities of the north have come out now to see the issues of marginalization that the core north took, subjected them to, limited their movement, their progress and everything. And so today the Middle Belt Forum is out there saying that they want to be recognized as people of that region, the Middle Belt, so to say. So are you worried of the strength of the North when there's this disagreement and, of course, people that want to say that we cannot be part of the core North as it is today?
There's nothing like core North. There's nothing like core North. There's nothing like core North. Or even there's nothing like, I would say, because if you go to Sokoto State or Zamfara State, honestly speaking, if you go down with a microscope, people are different ethnicity coming together. Different ethnicities coming together. You have the Karawa here, you have this Kandarawa, you have this. If you go down. So I think, yes, Middle Belt as a region or political entity, there is nothing problem with it. It can be part of the North. Kano is completely different from Zaria. The Kano people are different from when you go to Kano with a microscope too, you see that this Kanawa, like Abacha, is coming from Maiduguri. It's not a Kano man. If you look at, they told me Sheikh Karau was from another tribe. So if you go with the microscope, you find that all these people, they came together too. There's a micro Nigeria coming together, just like Kaduna now. Me and you are all coming here. I'm from Gumi and you are from where?
From Mopa, Kogi State.
From Kogi State.
Yes.
And we're all Kadunas now.
Yes.
So what's the problem? Why can't you and me be peaceful? Maybe if they want that kind of recognition, is very good, it's healthy, but not to be against, but just to protect some interest, maybe political appointments, maybe some privileges. Yes, it should be accepted.
Doctor, are you
we have no reason to be anti. No. Let's look at things positively and work together.
Are you aware of a movement that is saying the Hausa town should be for the Hausas, and that the Fulanis have come, to
And
take
that's another thing. Who is Hausa, who is Fulani? Now, that's the question. Who is Hausa, who is Fulani? My tongue now is 100% Hausa. I have no any language I speak besides Hausa. But my blood is Fulani.
And so you are the people that the Hausas are saying.
No. What is Hausa?
The indigens of the town.
No. No Hausa man can tell me that it's not my language. Hausa is not my language. And no Fulani man can tell me that you are not Fulani. That's why they have the coin, Hausa Fulani. Because when Hausas and Fulanis, they have intermingled. But there are some people at the extreme. There's some people at the extreme. So these are the people that are making noise. But 80 to 90% of the population is Hausa Fulani. There is a time we went in Kaduna, we went to Kachia for peace between tribes. And we got all the religious groups there in southern Kaduna here. So I noticed something. When the southern Kaduna people lawyer was speaking, and the Fulani side was speaking, I noticed something, and which I know as a doctor. If they take your blood now, look at your yellow now, you may have Fulani blood. The gene, as you are from Kogi, you will have Fulani blood somewhere. So when the lawyer was speaking for the tribes, his slim, light complexion, like you. When the lawyer for the Fulani is speaking, he's short, dark, and stout. So when they finished talking, I said, look, you people, you don't know about tribe and ethnicity. Now we talk about human being, because every human being, there's nobody who's pure. When you say you take his genetic constitution and say he's particularly from this area, grandfathers all mixed together, it's only percentage. Just for instance, now look, you stand up the lawyer. You see, whoever sees you somewhere without speaking, you will say you are a Fulani man. And the same lawyer that you are opposing, let him stand down. You see, if anybody will say, no, this is a southern Kaduna tribe, it's because genes are what? Mixed, interbreeding of human beings. We're all interbred. One Frenchman, when he wanted to do a genetic genotype of his, they asked him first, which tribe or which people do you hate most? He said, I hate the Germans. Because Germany, during Hitler, they invaded. I hate the Germans, he said. So they took his saliva, when the result came out, they said 40% of you is German. He was shocked. 40% of you is German. Nobody is pure. That's why in religion, in Islam, the Prophet of Islam is an Arab. But he said, you are not an Arab because of mother and father. You are Arab because of the language you speak, Arabic. So whoever speaks Arabic is an Arab. It's the same thing Hausa now. You are not Hausa because of mother and father. You are Hausa because you speak Hausa. It's a lingua franca. Because now if we say, let's take your blood and analyze, you'll be so surprised how diverse you are coming from at the scientific level. That's why in Islam, tribalism is abhor. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. Best of you are those who fear God more. There is no difference in ethnicity, religious, it's the character, it's the faith that makes you better. Not passing feeling because he's white or he's Arab or he's Fulani or he's Hausa or this. So this Hausa Zallah is just like the Fulanis too, the herdsmen too. they have this kind of ignorance too. This habit that's fighting us. And the Hausa, they want to create a Hausa. But the Hausa one is more milder and better. Do you know what? Because Hausa is sedentary. So as those people who are sedentary are more exposed to civilization. But the herdsmen, they're in the village, they are forest people. They are tougher and more uncouth and more liable to violence. That's the only difference. But every tribalism is scientifically wrong, religiously wrong. People are all from Adam, and Adam is from clay.
To dakta bari mu dawo cikin harshen Hausa. Ka yi dogon bayani a cikin harshen Turanci dangane da bambance-bambance da ke tsakanin al'umma ko na kabilanci ko na addini. Za mu so a takaice cikin harshen Hausa abubuwan da ka faɗa cikin harshen Turanci a yi mana ƙarin haske kan me yake janyo wannan bambance-bambance, kuma me ya kamata a magance, kuma me ya kamata mutane su sani cewa dukkan mu ɗaya ne, ko ma mutum na da addini to ya addinin shi ba tare da ya tsangwami wani da yake yin addini daban ba.
To a daidai karshen nan cikin maganan mu maganan kabilanci ne. Wato kabilanci wanda duwe ta hadda a wannan zamani da muke karni na 21, to bai kamata mutane ma su waiwaya zuwa kabilanci ba, domin an gane a ilmance ma kafin mu je game da addini babu wani mutum zaka ce wai shi tsintsan shi dan kabila kaza ne, domin sai cikin jinin shi an samu kabiloli, mutane da yawa sun fito daga nan sun fito da nan, ya zama kaman ruwan wankan dauraya ne mutane. Me kuke ce?
Wankan
tarwada ne mutane. To haka mutane suke, ba wani wanda zai ce wai ni gane nan ni tsantsana kaza ne. In ɗibi jinin shi
ko da mutum yanzu misali ni zan iya cewa ni Bahaushe ne, wani zai cewa shi baka tafe ne, wani zai cewa shi Birom ne.
Inda an duba za ga jinin Fulani a can, jinin baka tafe a nan, jini domin kakanni inda suka haɗu, kakanni ba ruwansu da wannan kabilanci.
To ya nuna kenan an cuɗanya a baya,
an cuɗanya mutane gaba ɗaya, shi yasa har yanzu ga maganar ma kabila tana so ta face, sai dai kai bani adam ne, jininka nawa ne wato nisban jininka daga ina ya fito, amma ba mutum ɗaya wanda zaka ce gashi nan 100%. Kai yanzu ka ce kai Bahaushe ne, amma wanda ya ganka ya gaba Fulatani.
Gidan kakanni na Fulani ne.
To kakanni Fulani to, amma harshe fa
Hausa.
Sai shi za a zo a raba mutane.
So duk wannan magana da mutane ke cewa Hausawa daban, Fulani daban,
wannan duka kuskure ne a ilmance, sannan kuma kuskure ne a addini ba ruwanmu da kabilanci. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, mafi karamci a wurin korin Allah. Shi Allah yana duba wanda fi tsoron shi ne, ba yana duba wai kabilar da ka zo ba wata kabila da za ta zo wai ta daga kai wai ta ce ita tafi wata, babu ita. Ka duba Isa almasihu da ya fito, ba wanda ya ƙi shi sai kabila shi, bani Isra'ila.
Wato Jesus kenan.
Bani Isra'ila ainihin kabila shi ita ta yaƙe shi, saboda haka ba za ta zo ta yi alfahari. Musa alaihi salam, mu yanda Qur'ani ya zo ma kai yana roƙon Allah ya raba shi da mutanen shi. Mu zo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam da ya fito, mutanen Quraysh suka yaƙe shi har ƙarshe. An kafa musulunci nan ba da su ba, to wace kabila za ta zo ta ce tafi wani? Hatta kabilun da annabawa suka fito ba su fi mutane ba. Shi yasa Allah ce inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, wanda fi ku shine wanda fi tsoron Allah.
To dakta, daga baya-bayan nan sunanka ya riga ya yi tambari a Najeriya, musamman wajen bayyana ra'ayinka abin da ya sha mulki, tsaro da duk wani abu da ya taso za a ga kayi magana a kai. To amma kwana-kwanan nan ko in ce je ko shi an ji ka kana nuna damuwa yadda ba a fahimta ka, ko in kai magana ake canza ta. Me wani karin haske ake mana kan?
To ai za dole mu fahimce shi a Najeriya, wato akwai su kabilanci suka sa gaba, saboda haka duk yadda za su bata ka sun yi. Akwai wasu kuma bangarancin addini da dame su, wannan kuma akwai musulman akwai wanda ba musulmai ba, dukkan su ma sai sun bata ka. Sannan akwai wani wata musiba da ta same mu yanzu a duniya, shine content creators. Shi wannan so ya fito da labari mai ban mamaki
domin mutane su bi shi,
domin mutane kawai
ko ya samu kuɗi,
ya samu kuɗi
daga
ba
baba.
wani musiban. Shi yasa yanzu za ka iya wata magana sai a murɗata, amma da kai mai saurari ka tsaya ka ji ma abinda za ka ji magana daban, abinda kuma aka ce ya ce daban. To wannan shi ma ya kawo duka wayan abubuwa. Amma dai abinda mutane ke so sani, in sun ji wani abu wanda yake zai kawo tarzoma tsakanin mutane, ko sun ji wani abu daga gare ni ake cewa wanda zai kawo wato ba ta'addanci ko sata ko cutar da jama'a, kamar wai ina goyon bayan shi, to wannan ba daga gare ni bane. Domin ni masha Allah, alhamdulillah, na gode Allah, irin karatun da na yi da abubuwan da na gani, ba yadda za a yi zama mai taimakon a zaliman mutane.
To amma yi babban kiran ka cewa a yi sulhu da 'yan bindiga, ko kuma menene mahanga ka na cewa a magance wannan
na fahimci cewa abin da sa suke tsoron ajiye makamai don za a far musu a kama su. Sai na ce to ai Najeriya wannan ba bidi'a bane a wurinta, tunda ta yi da Naja da ta an ba su amnesty, sun ajiye ta makamai, yanzu haka sun ajiye, ko da ke suna rike da makamai, amma dai wani sun ba sa farmaki. To sun nuna mana cewa in an ba su abin da zai ba su natsuwa cewa ba za a far musu ba, za su ajiye makami. Shi kadai ne inda gwamnati za ta iya kuma ta fito ta ce to yanzu daga yau mun ce duk wanda ya ajiye makamai ba za a bi shi ba, to za ka sun ajiye. To
amma dakta, kafin mu koma sashen turanci, a nan jihar Kaduna an ga gwamnatin jihar ta yi sulhu da 'yan bindiga, an samu sauki irin su binnan gwari da wasu yankuna a Giwa. To amma har yanzu ana samun matsaloli, kuma ana sace mutane musamman a wasu wurare. To ba ganin cewa ga gwamnati ta ba su kariya, amma
kuma tsaya yau dan ba yanzu za a yi noma ba.
Za a yi noma.
Idan ka shuka hatsinka, dole duk sai wani ya fito?
Ba dole ba ne.
Sai ka komo ka yi me?
Ka sake sawa.
Ka yi kofi.
Ka yi kofi.
Me yasa kake kofi? Don wani bai fito ba.
Ka cike gurbin.
Mutane ba su zama tsaya, za ka iya sulhu da mutane 100, amma wasu 20 su ce ba su yadda ba. Sai ka dawo su kuma 20 nan kuma ka sake fuskantar su. Amma ba so ɗaya za ka yi shuka ba ka ce ka tafi.
Dole akwai maimai.
Akwai mai a ta maimaitawa a ta yi. Shi ne engagement. Dole sai da engagement.
Doctor, we're getting it from you that this banditry, this terrorism, and all of that can end.
Yes, and it is coming to end, inshallah.
Okay,
it's coming to end.
All right, that's good for us. That's good for the country.
Yes,
and we really do appreciate that. Coming from you, you've seen, and people say you walk unfetteredly into the forest. You dialogue.
No, I don't go unfetteredly. I go with the security.
Okay.
Yes, I never go alone.
Well, misconceptions that will come from people that again that how is it that you have access to this terrorist group?
No, people should not fear that, because now so many people have entered the forest. So many now. Even foreign journalists have entered and have spoken with them.
I want you to talk on this is very important for Nigeria, where we are. Nigerians are saying that they've never had it this bad. Yes. In terms of the pains that they're going through.
Yes.
Government had made promises and promises not kept.
Yes.
And again, and so electionary year 2027 is just around the corner. How should the people access or assess those that they want in positions of leadership?
No, you see, people, what we need is a clean, fair election. And I hope the government will respect whoever is elected. Because to establish credibility in election is very important for the stability of the nation. This is what I want them to do. And they should fear nothing. This will put Nigeria on a pedestal whereby what you do, what you deliver is what brings you back to government. I want this government to start with that. People should have freedom to elect whoever they want. But let the elections be credible. Let it reflect the will of the people, that's all. And all these problems, most of them will... We're talking about bandits also. Out of the herdsmen, which by ABU studies said there are about 9 million herdsmen in our forest. This is not a small number. If you remember that the winning party won by about 8 million voters. They need to be represented too. Let's see state house of assemblies having herdsmen as representatives. Because now they have a channel to channel their grievances. Yes. But you find that they are not. They are not represented at all. Their representation is very important, vital of dousing tensions and problems. I hope Nigeria will understand that. We don't take ourselves enemies. Yes, we have committed so many crimes. And that's why you see after the civil war between Ojukwu and Gawan, there is a general acceptance, no victor, no vanquish. That is a very good step to national healing. And everybody who lost his property was compensated, or was supposed to be compensated by law. So I think that is what we need to do now for Nigeria. But why I say this is a dying candle, because the number of active people are reducing. But what I wanted to do is to stop it immediately, to blow out the candle, not to allow it to the end. Because allowing it may take maybe 10 years. Then within these 10 years, how many people will suffer? So why don't we just blow out the candle that is causing the problem and stop human suffering, rather than waiting? They kill and we kill, they kill and we kill. No, that's why I think the government need to listen, and we need the president to come out openly and said, okay, just like his predecessor Yar'Adua did with the Niger Deltas, he's ready to do with all the people that are harmed in Nigeria, to give a blanket amnesty, and after that, whoever will foment trouble, then the government has moral justification and power to see that now it can really quench such a person using the ones that have submitted themselves.
No, that was tried in Katsina State. It was tried somewhere in Zamfara State.
Can you compare Katsina yesterday and today? Katsina is more peaceful. Even Zamfara is more peaceful. It's just these sporadic cases that are spoiling the show. Just yesterday, I came back from Abuja. I left Abuja about 7 o'clock, and I reached here at 10 o'clock. The road is busy as anything, as a beehive. The road, everybody is feeling free, moving. Our only problem is the bad road. Like, things are improving. Let's not be always pessimistic because of some sporadic cases that are happening. They're happening. They will die away. But what we want is to quickly quench the fire of insecurity. Quickly, not to suffer for a long time when many people will be victims.
We're bringing this program gradually to an end. We want you to put your thoughts on the Nigeria you want, the future you see about Nigeria, and of course,
You see, what I have seen in life is if you don't change will change you. Yes. You have to change. Nigeria is going to change. Nigeria is going to be stable. Nigeria is going to develop. Nigeria is going to be everything a nation is believed to do. You either follow the change, or Nigeria will change and change you. Look at the example now. This is your radio station in Invicta FM. Before, we don't have anywhere to speak and except RTA, Radio Television Kaduna. But now we have so many areas. And you yourself too, if you not stay and give your listeners the right stuff, how many news outlets are there? What I'm saying, nobody can have a monopoly of anything. Look at banks now that are doing all this yanga for people. So microfinance is going to take them over. Look at the media and the social media. Look at almost everything. If you don't change, things will change. Nigeria is going to develop to the extent that, look, all this insecurity and everything will be taken care of. Now the technology in Nigeria, in the world, is enough to prevent insecurity. But those people who have it now are not ready to give us. let me give you example, cattle wrestling. There's a technology that every single cow, every single cow can have a tag that can be monitored and see, we know where it is. If it is sold, we know where it is going. So if all cows are tagged, how can there be rustling? We should know. Now, if I ask you, I've told you just now there are 9 million herdsmen in the forest. How do you identify them? Whereas one simple computer can contain names of more than 10 billion people. Why don't we know them? How can you be fighting a phantom, something you don't know? Who's going there, mapping them out, taking their fingerprints, knowing them? Who's doing that? It's just because of this dark area or dark side. That's why insecurity is coming. But when everything is just exposed, nobody can just do anything he wants. And so Nigeria is changing. Don't worry, technology will help us. But I know the owner of television, we catch up. With education, we'll catch up. We'll do it very well. Look, before, during this Iran-American war, what they realized, it takes billions of dollars to build an aircraft carrier. But now the aircraft carrier has to go so many thousands of miles away from the site of conflict because a simple drone can just sink it. So actually the idea is to bring aircraft close to the area of fight. Now a simple drone, $20,000, they are afraid of it. They have to move it far away, making it irrelevant. Even warfare now is changing by technology. So spending billions and billions on hard military wares now is becoming obsolete.
To dakta cikin harshen Hausa ganin shirin ya kusa zuwa ƙarshe, za mu so a takaice ganin kamar da kuka yi magana zaben shekara ta 2027 da kuma yadda kake ganin za a kawo ƙarshen magance matsalar tsaron nan, kamar yadda kake ganin cewa a wannan matsalar tsaron sai dai ta ɗauki lokaci amma za ta kawo ƙarshe, ga da kake nuna cewa da dai za a samu matsaya a kawo ƙarshen shi ba sai an jira wannan dogon lokaci ba, sun wahala. Za mu so a takaice cikin abin da kuka tauna da harshen Hausa a turanci a ɗan mana ƙarin haske.
To abin da nake cewa wato duniya ce take canjawa, kuma wanda ce ba zai canja ba to ita za ta canja shi. Saboda haka gara mu sauri mu ga cewa mun yi amfani da canje-canje da ake samu a duniya, an samu zaman lafiya. Ina ba su misali kamar yadda bankuna, yanzu ga 'yan bankuna wanda yake akan waya ma za ka buɗe account ɗinka ba sai ka je kayi layi ba, kai ta hada-hadanka da kuɗinka ba sai ka je kan layi ba. Bayan da suka canja bankuna, yanzu ga gidan rediyo irin wannan, da sai ka je gidan rediyo na tarayya abin nan
wanda
magana sannan za ka ba ka iya sukan da irin gwamnati ko kana tsoro, amma yanzu gashi kowa Allah ya bashi yanci ga social media kai magana kowa ya ji a duniya. Yaƙi ma na ce yaƙi yanzu akwai ɗan ƙaramin jirgi da yara ke yi, yanzu manya-manyan jiragen ruwa da ke ɗauke da manyan jirage suna tsoron shi, saboda haka dama an yi su ne don su kai jiragen yaƙi kusa da wurin makiya
wurin da ake yaƙi.
To yanzu kuma dole a ja su can baya, ya zama dai ba su da dai wani amfanin da yasa aka yi su. To haka duniya ke canjawa, saboda haka mu ɗauki ilimi, mu ɗauki abubuwa, insha Allah wannan tashi hankalin zai zo ƙarshen shi, domin za a gane komai a yi maganin shi. Amma dai abin da muke tsoro shine lokacin da zai dauka kan mutane su jikita su wahala. Muna kiran gwamnati ta sa hannu nan take a ga cewa duk mutanen Najeriya an san su, a yi musu takarda, a yi musu takardar zama, a san su, a san kowa. To ta hanyar haka insha Allah za mu samu sauki abubuwan da yake faruwa.
Wa ya kamata mutane su zaɓa?
Kowa ya zaɓi a son zuciya shi, kowa ya zaɓi abin da yake so, ba tare da an matsa musu ba. Abin da dai kawai muke so gwamnati ta tsaya ta yi zaɓen nan fi sabilillahi, wanda ya ce a bashi, duk wanda ya ce mutane suka ce suna so, domin shine kadai zai ce su bari.
And on that note, we'd like to thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. I hope it's not the last time I'm coming.
No, certainly not the last time, sir.
Okay.
We thank you so very much.
Thank you.